Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And we get to see the results of my parallel process overnight for the gear farming event stage, the Kaijin event. And ooh, that's a lot of space cores. Okay, and a lot of light cores. All right, yeah, that's pretty good. Another 990 process. This is a lot of materials. The Kaijin event leaves, I think, tomorrow? Tomorrow? Maybe tonight? Don't really remember. But that is not the point of today's video. Today's point of the video is the skill preview for the new Shuna. So starting tonight, this Shuna is coming out, and we look at her kit. She is fire. She is single target, as we all expected. She's on Ogre's Pride, Tempest Elite, and Pretty Sparkle, which is a bit interesting. Pretty Sparkle doesn't really get that many buffs because that is the Idolmaster collab team, but I guess she'll work there. Her first skill, 80 points. All magic characters weakness strike by 100%. So currently we were using Blanc as our weakness strike and our alt swapping character because the team looks a little bit like, okay, not that. It looks like this. So we were using Soe, brand new Soe. He's on the meta. He's got the orb change. He's got the synergy power and the attack buff. Blanc had the alt swap, the weakness strike, and technically the synergy down, which Momiji has already. Almesia is doing the alt and alt resistance down. And then Violet was doing orb change and magic attack. However, alongside this 100% weakness strike, she gives herself her own magic attack buff for 120%. So 20% more than what Violet was doing, and it's only for herself. Okay, sure. This doesn't really make her that great. Weakness Strike, as we know from all of the science testing that I've done on the channel, is one of the weaker buffs. And while it does help that we have someone doing it, she's also doing a couple other things. So this second skill is going to be pretty important. I think it's going to be the alt swap, just like Blanc is doing, which makes her... yeah, I don't know. She is the single target DPS character. She will phase out, but if she at least has a triple alt swap and she's giving everybody weakness strike, I mean, that is useful. This is magic characters weakness strike versus Blanc, who is just weakness strike. She's unrestricted. And then the synergy resistance down for Blanc is more generic than giving Shuna her own magic attack buff. Because if you're trying to use the Shuna as a support character in a future team, or a team that has already come out, if it's not physical, you're not getting this weakness strike. And if she's not the nuking character and she's only there to support a different magic character, this magic attack buff doesn't mean crap because you're not nuking with this particular Shuna. And again, depending on what this second skill is, if it's a triple alt swap, yeah, she's got value because triple alt swaps are really impactful. Apart from that, she won't really see much use. Single target for 490%. She doesn't have an alt effect. She is just raw damage, 1.5 times for the EX alt. This is, I would think, very typical. I figured she would have some kind of selfish buff, whether it be alt damage that would stack alongside Benimaru, or EX alt damage, one of the two. I didn't really expect them to do magic attack because Violet, again, is already here. I do get that they want to kind of phase Violet out because she's almost a year old, but it's really hard to do that when she's giving 100% to the entire team versus 120% to herself. So what I could see here is if you're really wanting to run the full Ogre's Pride team, if she's got the alt swap, you no longer need Blanc. So we can get her out of here and we can add somebody else in, I guess. Who what else does this team need? I guess it needs EX alt damage. So she's not a primal demon, so Jean isn't really gonna work. I mean, I guess you could bring Shinsha. She's got magic characters 50% EX alt damage, right? Yep. And then she's got attack and orange damage, which doesn't really help anybody else on this team, but I mean that's a buff. And then Violet, I guess would come out for the new Shuna. So let's just put Bride Shuna there. I guess this would work, but you'd also be losing one of your primary orb changers, so you'd be down to having just Soe. Now the other thing you could do is take the Shinsha and put in Fire Lumi from the Prosper meta, and then you'll have a fire character, an earth character, a fire, and another fire character, which means that you would have the ability to full orb change every single turn, except turn 1, which Soe will convert. You will have that 3 turns of healing / invincibility. You'll have 2 turns of the increased HP, and the ult rush ability technically on like turn 2 and then never again. It's just, yeah, I think this would be the next best team build if you were actually set on running the Shuna, because you don't really need Blanc, you don't need Violet if you're only doing big single target damage with the Shuna. I mean, there are other team comps that you can use as well, but this would probably give you the most least amount of RNG, because as soon as turn 1 is over, you've used Soe's orb change, you've got 53 points, you have 4 units that you can leave up front, hopefully, because Shuna will alt swap, and then you just leave Violet and Momiji or something, and you'd be looking fine. It's just that Momiji now will be missing the 100% magic buff, which will cut her damage down. But anything is possible. I really don't think you need to summon for the Shuna unless this skill is like really, really, really good. And even then, if you have Blanc, like you really don't need this Shuna. You really don't need this Shuna if you have Blanc already. If you have Blanc and Violet, unnecessary. Yeah, you're gonna miss the single target nuke for Jubilee. Shock surprise. Oh, cry about it. Oh no. I don't think the Shuna is gonna bring you extreme value if you already have Blanc and Violet. If you don't have Blanc and Violet, I still don't think the Shuna is a very good pickup, because we are 2 months away from the 3rd anniversary, and by God, they're going to be a lot better than the Shuna is. They're going to be better than this team in general, which is really hard to think about because it's doing 30 million goddamn damage, and probably the Shuna will be doing, I don't want to say 40, probably like 35 on my team. Like, if Nature's using it, probably 40 million, because he's going to have a 120, he's going to have synergy gear, or enchanted gear and everything. And, yeah, I mean, maybe. We'll see. But, yeah, we'll find out tonight in just under 12 hours what else Shuna is going to do, and we will be summoning. Hopefully I can continue the luck streak, but I have a shocking feeling that my luck is going to come crashing down. So, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys want this second skill to be. But that's it for me, guys. Take it easy, and I will see you all tonight for the summons.